Perfect. Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's time.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? We are now live here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. Happy Monday to you all. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, whatever it is that you did on the weekend. What's going on, everyone? What's up? Happy Monday. How you doing? Hey, ¿cómo están? ¿Qué están haciendo? What are you doing? How was your weekend? I can't hear you, but I hope it was a good one. It is August 11th, 2025. Man, it is, we're getting close, aren't we? September is going to be just around the corner. It's coming. Funny enough, as someone who used to work in retail, like at the supermarket, sometimes back in the day, they would be slick with it. Like the dairy department from time to time, like around early August, like around this time, would be slick and, you know, put in that pumpkin spice stuff on the shelves. And mind you, it's still early August. Like for me, I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to next month because as I got older, I've said this before, I've always loved the summer, always loved it. But as I got older, I started to appreciate the fall weather. I don't know how many of you feel that way. I don't know how many of you prefer the summer. There's some of you who do, who love the summer, love the heat, the humidity, all that stuff. But as I got, like I said before, as I got older, I started to appreciate more of the fall. Early morning, it's chilly, right? And then in the afternoon, it gets warm, right? And then at night, it's chilly again. I cannot complain. Cannot fucking complain. Okay? But I know out there, you know, it's one of those situations where it depends what your preference is, right? Okay, there's some people who enjoy the winter. There's some people who enjoy, like, again, I don't know, depending what part of the country, what part of the world that you're from, in most cases, it's always hot. Always hot. Roman writes here, Steve don't like the heat. I can attest. Yes, you can attest. Like, damn, I couldn't even like live in Florida. Imagine if I lived in Florida. Oh, hell no. Somewhere in Texas, like Austin, where it's humid 24/7. No thanks. I'm good, brother. I am so good. But be that as it may, I can appreciate what's going to be coming our way. You know what I mean? Chief writes here, I'm ready for fall. I am over this heat. Me and you too, brother. Me and you as well. But outside of that, as far as wrestling wise, you know, it's post SummerSlam. And normally post SummerSlam, this is where WWE loves to just, you know what, relax, you know what, coast. Because guess what? In a couple of weeks, it's the return of football, right? NFL football. And for me, the other football, soccer, is also coming back soon. Some of the leagues have already started, but I cannot wait till we get Premier League. I cannot wait for La Liga. I cannot wait for Bundesliga. Cannot wait for Serie A. Cannot even wait for Liga 1. Can't wait for Champions League, Europa League. Then we'll be back, okay? Gotta wait one more week, I guess. I think is one more week. I think this Friday. Let me just check here real quick. Let me just check the FootMob app real quick. Goddamn, buddy. Yeah, this Friday we start off the Premier League. Liverpool. It starts off. Liverpool kicks off the Premier League this Friday against Bournemouth, and then obviously in La Liga you do have Girona and Rayo Vallecano. You have Villarreal versus Real Oviedo, who just got promoted to La Liga. And then we're off to the races. Like, you know, next week is, and then after that Saturday, more like Premier League games. You got, you know, your Man City versus Wolverhampton, Tottenham versus Burnley. Could be a lot of good games. A lot of good games. I cannot wait. And this is the part where I probably lost all of you. Like What the fuck is he talking about, buddy? Me no comprendo that soccer stuff. I want the other football, you know? But it's one of those things where I'm just excited. Okay, I'm just excited. We'll be so back. But there is some big news that took place over literally last week, right? We kind of talked about it a little bit. We kind of talked about it in parts during SAD when the news came out, not of MVP and Speedball, quote unquote, hating each other, because I think they kind of like shot that down or they put that away. But the news came out literally last week, the big news of WWE and ESPN making a deal starting in 2026. So, and it's crazy too, because literally today, early this morning, it's also the news came out that the UFC is going to Paramount Plus in 2026. So all this is happening. So TKO is going to be making that fucking money. They're going to be swimming in money, which is crazy as it is. Guys, let me know in the chat your thoughts and all this that I'm talking about it and all that fun stuff as well. If you want your comment highlighted, the best way possible to do so by leaving a super chat. It does go back to the channel. And if you want to be a channel member, it's only $2.99 a month. But let's get into this. So the news came out, I want to say, sometime Wednesday, that WWE made a deal with ESPN. So this is regarding the ESPN deal. So WrestleMania will be part of ESPN's new direct-to-consumer streaming service starting in 2026. So the way this works is that it's going to be WWE PLEs moving to ESPN. Thanks to an agreement between World Wrestling Entertainment and ESPN, WWE has an immense, devoted, and passionate fan base that we're excited to super serve on our new ESPN DTC platform, like I just mentioned moments ago, the direct-to-consumer platform. This is coming from ESPN's chairman, Jimmy Pitaro. This agreement, which features the most significant WWE events of the year, bolsters our unprecedented content portfolio and helps drive our streaming future. So how this works is, again, when the news came out about this, I think all of us, let's be honest here, we kind of overreacted, I feel like. a lot of times when we hear about them going to ESPN or moving something or some breaking news like this, we tend to at times overreact. It's natural, right? Because I've heard people say, here's the thing about it. We heard ESPN PLE is going to ESPN, and then you heard $29.99 a month. So when people heard that, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I guess I'm done with WWE. Oh, it's over. They're doing it again. Oh my goodness," right? That's what people heard. And again, I think people were under the impression at first that it was all WWE, right? The library, all that stuff. And no, it's only the pay-per-views, PLEs. I'm sorry. It's only for the PLEs, right? And this is coming from Mark Shapiro, who is the president and chief operating officer of TKO. We are proud to reinforce the E in ESPN. That's such an exciting juncture in its direct-to-consumer journey. This is, again, from Mark Shapiro, right? The president, the chief operating officer of TKO, okay? WWE Premium Live events are renowned for exactly the type of rich storytelling, incredible feats of athleticism, and can't miss cultural tentpole experiences. What the fuck? That have become synonymous with ESPN. Through our UFC relationship, we have experienced firsthand how transformational an ESPN presence can be, and we know it will be an exceptional partnership at a time of great innovation for both companies. Now keep this in mind, right? This will launch the step that being ESPN's will launch this streaming service in particular on August 21st, on August 21st of obviously 2025. And again, this will be for $29.99 a month, the price point, and will keep the linear network's name ESPN. The direct consumer service will allow users to get all 7 ESPN domestic linear networks, in addition to ESPN and ABC and several other streaming options. That's just another thing to keep in mind. And again, you're hearing all this shit like, goddamn, let's be honest here. That $29.99 is fucking with you. Like, what the fuck, man? You mean to tell me that I gotta subscribe to this too? Now, keep in mind, and again, people might have again jumped the gun with all this. If you are someone that has Optimum, right? If you have Optimum, if you have, I think, DirecTV, just to name you a couple that I can think of right now, top of the head right now, that are just, you have nothing to worry about. If you have already ESPN, like if ESPN is on your cable provider, you have nothing to worry about. In my case, because I have Xfinity, I'm going to have to pay the $29.99. Now, keep in mind, all of this can change. This can change also. Because, again, for all we know, by the time we get to whenever it's time for them to move, I think it's going to be sometime in March. But so by the time, I think the first event on ESPN will obviously be WrestleMania. By the time this happens, I'm hoping that all this gets sorted out, right? But also, I think people are also just forgetting this simple fact. You do realize there's a way you can avoid all this shit. There's a way for you to avoid all of this stuff. Just get a VPN. I say this to everyone. Get a VPN. Okay? Just get a VPN. It's crazy to think that we here in the States, right? People think, oh, man, it must be cool. No, it's not. No, it's not. Like, think about it. You can watch Raw on Netflix. Watch Raw on Netflix here in the States. Okay, I can't speak if you live in the UK or in Canada. I can't speak for you right now. But I'm speaking for us, the Americans, right? We have to watch Raw on Netflix. NXT, for those of you that still watch NXT, is on the CW. SmackDown's on USA Network. Now, if you want to watch the PLE, the pay-per-views, right, you have to go to Peacock. All these different places. But guess what? Your homeboy that lives in Canada, your homeboy that lives in England, your homeboy that lives in Mexico, your homeboy that lives in Spain, right? Your bestie that lives in freaking Australia, guess what? They watch everything on Netflix. And guess what? Uninterrupted. So you're not out here in the States, you're watching Raw on Netflix, and then they'll get the little ad. No, they don't get that over there. They don't get that over there. So to all you people, because I've seen it, people complaining, people losing it. If you want to avoid all this shit, just get a VPN. Now, again, I don't know as well, what else do you watch besides wrestling? Now, personally, I think the deal of them going to ESPN is huge. That's awesome. The fact that, again, for those of you who are sports fans, right, you get to watch your Monday Night Football, right? And then you also get to watch Monday Night WWE coverage on ESPN. Let that sink in for a second. Pro wrestling, when you think about it, right? If I recall, used to be on ESPN with AWA back in the day. So to think, again, and again, this might get some people upset, but it is what it is. The premier wrestling promotion in the world is going to ESPN. That's a win. That's a win. But again, I don't know what other content you guys watch or consume besides wrestling. Like for me, for instance, right? I would probably still keep Peacock because, again, we don't know what's going to happen with the library. We don't know with the library, right? Because I know people are wondering, you know, I don't know what else you're going to be watching, you know, outside of wrestling. Like for me, right? I have Xfinity, right? I'm subscribed to, ESPN Plus, for the UFC fight nights. I also factor in, I'm a soccer fan. So I do watch La Liga on ESPN Plus. I do watch La Bundesliga on ESPN Plus. When they do the FA Cup, I watch it on ESPN Plus. Peacock, as far as I know, look, sometimes I'll watch the Premier League on Peacock. That is the English football league, soccer league, for those of you that are wondering, right? On Paramount, which I'm going to get into just a second because of the UFC, I watch Serie A and I watch the Champions League and the Europa League. Point is, though, I will still consider keeping these platforms because of the stuff that I consume. I can't speak for most of y'all. I don't know, right? I think in the long run, it's a big W for WWE. They're making a shitload of money on this. They're making $325 million a year. It's a shitload of money. And again, for the length that they're signed to ESPN, they're swimming in money. Now, this is coming again. The direct-to-consumer, I think I mentioned that already. WWE will air their PLEs on their new streaming service for 5 years. 5 years, right? $325 million for the next 5 years, dude. $325 million a year for the next 5 years. Do the math, okay? And this starts in 2026. Now, keep in mind, Peacock could have, matched the deal. And Peacock, they did make an offer. And this is coming from Meltzer, by the way. This is coming from Dave Meltzer. So take that with a grain of salt. Peacock did make an offer, and I guess the offer was allegedly in the neighborhood about $275 million a year. WWE wanted more, obviously, and they ended up getting the $325 million, which is why they went with ESPN over Peacock. Obviously, if Peacock had over $400 million a year, they would have stayed, but they didn't. Weston Rice here, bring back the network. Man, I've seen people say that today, man. We had it good. A lot of people will never know what it's like. And I agree, Draven. We did take the WWE. We did take it for granted. I've seen memes like, we talk about you still. Like someone went to a gravesite, and it's like, we still talk about you. And the bottom is the WWE network. Stuff is already migrating to YouTube under WWE Vault and WCW. That's another thing, too. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with the WWE library, right? For all we know, it could go to Netflix. It could end up on YouTube, right? Think about it, right? If you go on, they do have WWE Vault. They do have the WCW Vault. I know they have the NXT Vault. And I'm pretty sure real soon, they're going to be adding an ECW Vault. This is a lot of the content that if you are a fan of the old school, this is for that those are places for you to go to, right? Now, granted, let's just keep it a buck too as well. For a lot of for the people in the suits, that don't move them. It doesn't, right? So I wouldn't be shocked if they ended up probably keep moving it to Netflix, right? But it's a matter of see. Just imagine Monday Night Football with big WWE logo advertising in the lower third during a game. Exactly. Weston Rice here. I'm thankful for you, Steve, and everyone from around the point. I'm having a rough time in my life right now. Brother, keep your head up, man. Keep your head up. Everyone, I feel like, in life goes through some shit, right? And it's a matter of how you face that adversity. Just know there's people that are there for you, man. We're here for you, brother. Remember that. All right. If you need someone to talk to, you know where to contact me, bro. All right. So there you go. But look, I think again for the WWE, sweet move. big, no Diddy, as far as the move goes. $325 million a year for the next 5 years, bro. And you are on the biggest sports platform of all time, ESPN. That's big. That's huge, bro. Monday Night Football. What else is on ESPN? Sports Center, right? I guess some college football when it starts eventually, college basketball, right? The FA Cup finals, the FA Cup, right? And now let's factor in, WWE pay-per-views, bro. If you would have told me, bro, like in 2002, that, hey, one day WrestleMania would be on ESPN, I would have not believed you. Or ABC. You never know. Or maybe ABC. Can you imagine WrestleMania on ABC? That's crazy to think that could happen. But again, as far as people out there who are getting upset, oh my God, it's so much bread. I get it. I understand. My advice, get a VPN and just watch everything on Netflix. I think Peacock is jacking their price up again. I would not be surprised if they do. Would not be shocked. It's really annoying how hard these streaming services are cracking down on account sharing. Yeah, it is. It is going to get crazier. We are the American fan base. We were where WWE was founded and located. You think they would treat us better? Yeah, no. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but the reality is, dude, don't be shocked. I can see this now, and once this whole thing gets implemented, right? Can you imagine like their shareholders meetings, and they realize and they find out that, oh shit, we're getting so much viewership in Ukraine. Oh my goodness, we're getting so much viewership in Italy. I'm just saying, they're going to be like, what the fuck? And at the same time, let's just keep it a buck, yo. You have to know that WWE knows, bro. They have to know. They have to know that there going to be a lot of y'all who are going to be doing the VPNs, bro. They're going to be it's happening. It's happening. I'm hearing rumors they might show some selected events on ABC or ESPN TV. It is, bro. It is huge, bro. They're going to be on ESPN. Like, imagine like pre-shows on ESPN, bro. Like, think about it, yo. You're going to have Stephen A. Smith from covering WWE on ESPN. Well, granted, PLEs. There's some streaming services like Disney Plus that will only allow you to watch from one IP address. Yep. Think about that too. WWE working with the mouse. Disney, bro. Fucking Disney. It's a W, bro. It's a win. It's a fucking win. So good for them on that. Also, you thought that was it, bro, from TKO? Nah, brother. Nah. Nada que ver. Nada que ver aquí. There was more stuff that happened. Yes, Stephanie McMahon is actually doing a VPN sponsorship. Yeah, she does it on her podcast, I think. So, hey, she's already telling y'all, like, yo, get on this VPN wave. I'm telling y'all, it is going to be so convenient. How long do you think till she stops doing that sponsorship? I'm just saying, okay? Biggest loser is Peacock. So many subs getting canceled depending on where the library goes. Absolutely. There's a possibility that it can stay on Peacock. Possibility, right? Because as far as I know, ESPN, for now, all they want is the PLEs. But who knows? Maybe, just maybe, it can end up on Disney, bro. I'm just saying. Just never know. Things are going to be crazy. Things are going to be crazy, bro. And you know who's the real MVP in all this shit, bro? Nick Khan, bro. Nick fucking Khan, bro. Savage motherfucker. Fucking savage, bro. How can you hate on the man? Can I hate on him? You think that's crazy enough, bro? This morning, the UFC made a big announcement because I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but the UFC, who are currently, as of right now, on ESPN Plus, they're also in contract year. So for a while, you were wondering, a lot of people were wondering, that is, where would the leader of MMA, where will they end up going? Will they stick around on ESPN, or maybe they'll find somewhere else to stream their content and stuff like that? Well, it was announced today the UFC is coming to Paramount Plus and CBS in 2026. That is right. The UFC is going to Paramount Plus and CBS in 2026. The company agreed to an outstanding 7-year, $7.7 billion contract. That is crazy, bro. 7.7 billion. Shit, at this point, might as well be time to sail to the Pirate Bay. Oh, that's still around? Oh, Pirate Bay. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. But this is from Dana White. This is what he posted on his social media. This historic deal with Paramount and CBS is incredible for UFC fans and our athletes. For the first time ever, fans in the US will have access to all UFC content without a pay-per-view model, making it more affordable and accessible to view the greatest fights on a massive platform. This deal puts UFC amongst the biggest sports in the world. The exposure provided by Paramount and CBS networks under this new structure is a huge win for our athletes and anyone who watches and loves the sport. This is from Dana White. And that is true. Like, bro, keep this in mind. No more pay-per-view. So basically how this works, if you have Paramount Plus, you can watch UFC. You don't got to worry about paying the $79.99 like you were for ESPN. So you have to like pay for the ESPN Plus service, and then on top of that, pay the $79.99. Those days are over. Those days are done. We move on, right? Paramount confirmed both the length and cost of this deal in a news release on Monday. While the average annual cost of the deal is $1.1 billion, the payment structure is weighted, with Paramount paying less money early in the deal. The deal is only for UFC US rights. Paramount is interested in buying the company's international rights when they become available. It is said in the Monday's release, all UFC events, including 13 numbered shows and 30 fight nights, will be included as part of a normal subscription with Paramount Plus. Selected number events will be simulcast on CBS. It's happening right now, brother. It's happening right now. Here's the thing. There is a UFC event happening this Saturday, and it's Khamzat Chimaev versus Drake Duplessis. And people are waiting for that fight this Saturday. But we've had these fight nights. Like some of the fight nights, like again, if you're a fan of the sport, if you're a fan of combat, if you're a fan of fighting, you'll watch them, right? But they don't really do much for you. They don't really oh my God, you know what I mean? Like the last couple of fight nights, back in the day, it would be like this, right? So it got to a point where back then, like a couple of months ago, we would be like on the group chats, hey, are we watching like a family? We would watch like a family. These last couple of fight nights, I think also because all of us got stuff to do, but factor in, like, we haven't been interested. But this Saturday, it's a pay-per-view. The bosses of TKO make it sound like most of the numbered UFC PLEs would be on regular TV. I don't think everyone. I think also factoring into they're leaving the pay-per-view model because people don't want to pay that price. And also factor in, right now, the UFC, they don't really have, as far as like that mega star, they have one in the making in Ilya Topuria. But they don't have the Conor McGregor right now. They don't have the John Jones. They don't have that it factor. They don't have it right now. You have one potentially in Ilya Topuria. You have Paddy Pimblett in the making. You have Tom Aspinall, right? But as far as like that one person, they don't have it right now, which is a shame. Because I'm pretty sure if it was up to the UFC, they would still be on that pay-per-view model. But think about this too. Like, I think this is a comment from Chief from early in the stream, and I'm gonna play it here. I'm gonna post here. That's crazy. UFC back to Paramount, Viacom, aka Spike TV. That is crazy. If you guys remember, back in the early days, the UFC was on Spike TV, right? And those remember the original Ultimate Fighter, Forrest Griffin versus Stephen Bonner, right? That is the fight that got the UFC that put the UFC on the map. Where like they got them on a deal on Spike TV, and it blew up since then, right? That from that fight. And yeah, there were some fight nights here and there on Spike TV. And then they went to Fox, and then they went to ESPN, but now they returned. And to be fair, when they left, I think Spike brought in Bellator, and eventually Spike became Paramount. And now here we are, full circle, man. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. But that's insane. Like, bro, the UFC today, and with this news for Paramount. And again, I said this earlier, I have Paramount, right? Through Paramount, I watch Serie A, which is the Italian soccer league, and I watch the Champions League and the Europa League. And now you have UFC. It's crazy. Well, now I have no excuse to get into UFC. Just stayed a casual because the pay-per-view model would add up. Brother, there's ways around that. You know that, right? You could have just gone on some Peruvian ESPN Plus, but I digress. But again, big news here for the UFC and for WWE PLEs moving to different places. Obviously, with WWE moving to WWE PLEs. Let me correct myself here. Moving to ESPN. And of course, the UFC moving over to Paramount. That's crazy, bro. It is fucking crazy. But we'll see what else happens. I do think it does start at the beginning of the year. So imagine that first card. You already know they're going to have to stack that card up. You guys talk about the White House, the White House. Brother, that first Paramount card needs to hit like crack. So we'll see what they end up doing for that and stuff like that. Also in the news this week, couple of stuff that also went down over on SmackDown. And now, mind you, this was post SummerSlam, and I'll be honest, I didn't feel like they did much. They didn't really do much. People were expecting Brock to be there because Cena was in Montreal, right? And they're still doing the thing where his Titantron is dark, and then the lights come in. And if you notice, for every city that he's in, it coordinates with the Titantron in the shirt. So they're in Montreal, and it was a big, massive reaction, bro. They were going insane for Cena. And then he gets interrupted by Logan Paul. And then just back and forth by both these guys, right? And then out came Drew, then Cody, and they did the tag team match, right? And all that stuff. And that ended with, obviously, Cody getting Claymored by Drew. Through the bottom of the announcer's table, and Drew chilling with the belt. But pretty much from the looks of it now, it's starting to shape up, though. Clash in Paris is shaping up because of the whole Cena and Logan Paul exchange. It is official at Clash in Paris, August 31st. It will be John Cena versus Logan Paul. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you out there who are expecting Brock and Cena at Clash in Paris, but no, it's going to be Big Brock. It's going to be Logan Paul, man, the Maverick, yo. Look, safe to say, the retirement tour could end early. I know after this, he has about 8 dates available left in his retirement tour. Look, man, I'm just saying, my guy, the Maverick, might have different plans. But it should be a fun match for the most part. It should be a fun match. So we'll see how this goes down. But that is for Clash in Paris. I think also factoring in what we saw at the end with Drew and Cody, That's probably a match too. Drew versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. I wouldn't mind that match at all. Sign me up. Sign me the fuck up for that one. I think both these guys, again, there's a history, right? Both guys left WWE. They reinvented themselves outside of WWE, right? Tore it up elsewhere, right? And now they're back, and look where they're both at now. Obviously, Drew was champion first. And, you know, the story that for Drew is redemption for Drew. Think about it. 5 years ago, he had his moment, right? He had his moment. And obviously, the pandemic happened. There was no people to see the moment of Drew beating Brock and Big Show. It was in a warehouse, right? And along the way, you know, there was the Bloodline, there was CM Punk, there was Damian Priest, and all this stuff. So for Drew, this is finally like, yo, I get to finally redeem or correct what happened in Glasgow a couple of years ago when I lost, when I came close of winning, but Solo Sikoa came out and cost me the championship, and it ended. Remember the visual. It's Drew McIntyre and Tyson Fury singing Sweet Caroline, right? This is a way for Drew is redemption. Again, do I see him winning? No, but the story's there, right? And I do think, again, Drew and Cody, when they make the match official, because I'm pretty sure they'll make it official this Friday on SmackDown. But I know people were also expecting Brock and Cena, right? Considering what happened at SummerSlam, considering what happened that, you know, Brock wasn't even there. Brock was not even at SmackDown this Friday. I think we are gonna get Brock and Cena, just not right now. But I do think after this Logan Paul match, we are going to get Cena and Brock. I would probably say Perth. Most likely Perth for the most part. Again, bro, Cena only has 8 dates available. 8 dates available after this match with Logan. Everyone hating on Logan facing Cena, John just giving Logan the rub on the way out. Exactly. Finally, a young talent getting rubbed from Cena. Everyone else he's faced has been old. I think for Cena, it's like, bro, you had to, though, bro. You had to do Cena versus Orton, Cena versus Punk, Cena and Cody. Again, you got to play the hits. And also, real soon, Cena versus Brock. I would have loved to have seen Cena versus AJ. We might get, for all we know, they could add dates, a couple more dates to this retirement tour. I get the feeling they might. I get that feeling. Naomi not medically cleared for tonight. Match is canceled. I did hear about that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll see what they have Io Sky doing tonight. TKO books a PLE on the same night as All Out. And you know what? It's going to continue to happen, unfortunately. It's going to continue to happen. But it is what it is. Real quick, I did watch the Karrion Kross documentary. I did watch part 2. I know a lot of people, because I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but as we speak, Karrion Kross is officially a free agent. His contract with WWE expired effectively last Saturday night. And on Sunday morning, you had Karrion Kross's and also Scarlett's, both their profiles moved to the alumni section of WWE.com. Now, could it be that they're playing everyone into believing that they're really gone? It's possible, right? But Karrion Kross, he did upload part 2 of his documentary. This one titled "My WWE Contract Expired Today" or something like that, where everything that led to SummerSlam, you know, him promoting his book, which WWE did promote as well. Book signings, how fans have really just want him to be given an opportunity, right? And because of all of this, people on social media were tweeting out hashtag we want Kross. Now, they also played clips, from when the crowd were chanting, we want Kross, and Brock said, yeah, we got Brock back, you got him. They played that clip. They played, other clips, the match from SummerSlam, and from a fan camp perspective. It's a very good watch for the most part, all right? Now, could it be that he's working? It's possible. I think Kross and WWE are working us, everything lining up to, well, not to be work or not work. I find it hard to believe Kross won't return to WWE eventually. Because he does say, he doesn't want to go anywhere. He did say that in the beginning of it. Now, I'm just saying, hear me out. Killer Kross versus Gabe Kidd? Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm just saying. Okay? But, look, dude's talented, okay? He's creative as fuck with promos in his video, his videos on social media, right? Dude's talented. It's crazy how he was able to get people to get behind him. And I think that is unique, right? Now, let's assume here that the scenario that, he doesn't, return, because there's a possibility. Look, to my understanding, this is from Meltzer, that they did offer him a new deal literally last week. And whether they signed or not, again, we could be getting worked, right? But again, as talented as Kross is, let's just tell this also, bro, dude's 40 years old. And the one thing he has not recovered from is the Adam Cole promo. He has never recovered from that promo. Rich writes here, he can't go to AEW because Scarlett and Dawn. What happened there? Now, I probably forgot about what happened, but can someone please remind me about what happened here? Because again, I probably forgot what happened, but Karrion Kross still with WWE. Why do I say that? Who's paying for his very expensive book tour that was promoted on last week's NXT and SmackDown? Maybe it's a third party. We don't know, brother. We don't know. Again, for all we know, yeah, you are. We could be getting worked. This could all be a work. I'll be honest. If this is a work, but again, someone please cue me in. What happened? What happened with Don Callis and Scarlett Bordeaux? Someone cue me in on that. I got a question. I questioned WWE pulling the theme song down. They've never done that before that quickly. That's true as well. It's very odd of them, right? To just, because when someone gets released, right, from WWE, whether their contract expires or they get released, normally, they will take them a while to remove their song from Spotify or Apple Music, wherever it may be. It'll take them a couple of weeks. So, kind of weird, right? All of a sudden, damn, the last day of their contracts, remove the song. That was quick. But it could very well be that we're probably getting work. Scarlett and said Dawn sexually harassed her. Now, I don't know where, again, if it's not a work, right? If it's not a work, honestly, I can see him probably doing MLW, maybe New Japan. He might go to, WWE owns AAA. Maybe he goes to CMLL, unless he's banned from CMLL. I don't know. I don't really watch that much Lucha Libre, so I don't know what's his status over there, what it looks like. But if it's a work, if it is a work, I'll be honest, I would let him do a couple of indie shows, maybe for a month. Let him do a couple of indie shows for a month. Let him open a pro wrestling tea store, right? Let him, let it be legit that he's on the independent, that he's released. And then if if it's a work, bring him back, I don't know, at the most craziest time. I don't think she ever said that. Just people think that's who it was. In TNA, that's why Don got fired from TNA. Again, I don't remember any of this stuff. I'll be honest with you. So I don't think, again, she ever said that. So, but the reality is, again, I would have Karrion Kross and Scarlett work the independents for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, right? Let him be Killer Kross, right? Let him cut these promos that makes you think, hey, this is, and then you bring him back during a title match or something. That's what I would do. But again, I don't have the pen. I don't have the pen. So there's that also. But also, speaking of releases and let goes, they had Ashanti the Adonis. The guy from Hit Row went to NXT. This is what he posted on Twitter yesterday. After 6 unforgettable years under the WWE lights, the time has come for me to close that chapter. I am filled with nothing but gratitude for every opportunity, the experience, lessons, and incredible talent I've had the chance to work with. I am truly excited to show the world what I can really do. Sometimes you gotta get off multiplayer and progress your story mode. I believe I'm the face of the future and the reason your girl stopped texting you back. Okay. This is a brand new beginning, and I'm becoming the best version of myself. You've only seen a glimpse of my true potential, and I'm just scratching the surface. I know that to some this can be a dark time, but stars can't shine without darkness. The Adonis out. For booking, please contact me here. That's his email. So he's no longer with WWE. It's crazy to think, right? It's crazy to think, bruh. The person that survived from Hit Row was BFAB. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? I mean, look, good luck to him. I'm sure MLW will be giving him a call. I'm sure he'll appear on an episode of Paywall of Honor. But good for him. Good for him. And yes, Romeo. Also breaking news here as well. Lola Vice has signed a new deal with WWE per PW Insider. So she's not going anywhere anytime soon. And also factor in, she's kind of like that female star in this AAA worldwide and WWE relationship. Like, I know she's been in Mexico a couple of times, but now she's going back for Triple Mania, which is this weekend, by the way. This weekend. And also it's UFC, the pay-per-view as well. I have a wedding to go to, so I don't know how it's going to work out. But good for her. Good for her. She, again, there's promise there for sure. Speaking of Clash in Paris as well, real quick. I don't know how many of you saw this, but Triple H posted this graphic. 3 weeks until WWE Clash in Paris. Are you ready? And it's Roman Reigns on the graphic. Roman Reigns. Now, many people were under the impression that Roman he probably is still filming for Street Fighter. But but the word also going around is that he won't be there till September. So he could probably still squeeze in some matches here and there. I do think you could probably get a match out of him in Paris. Maybe him and Bronson Reed. That's a match I want to see. Him, the guy who's stealing, his shoes, right? I think Solid Monster said this, and I agree, right? If Bret Hart wrestled a pirate to get his jacket back, why can't Roman Reigns wrestle Bronson Reed to get his sneakers back? It makes, again, just saying. Yes, that both Scarlett and Karrion opened a frozen tea store a few hours ago today. See, they're doing it, man. And that's Lola Vice money now, pal. There you go. But Where was I here? Yeah, with Roman Reigns, right? Honestly, I really do want to see Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. That is the match I think they should make. And again, him working Paris, why the fuck not? And I don't think that'll be one of the only shows he'll be working because I don't know how many of you guys saw this over the week, but Turkey Al-Sheikh was on Twitter. And there's been this talk of WrestleMania going to Saudi Arabia. I don't know how many of y'all caught this, but this is from Turkey Al-Sheikh. This is what he posted a couple of days ago. A huge entertainment. Now keep this in mind. All this was in Saudi in Arabic letters. So this is all translated. A huge entertainment. This is from him, by the way. This is from him, right? A huge entertainment event I just signed for 2027. A big surprise to be announced soon. Your happiness is our goal. And I guess someone responded back, WrestleMania? And that was the response of Turkey Al-Sheikh. So there's a big possibility, ladies and gentlemen, that we could be getting WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia in 2027. It's very possible. That's the only thing that makes sense, right? Like big event. Like we've known for a long time, Saudi Arabia has been wanting to host a WrestleMania. And I know if you're someone who lives in England, you're like right now hearing this, and all you want to probably fucking do is from the bottom of your lungs when you hear all this shit is just go, fuck! And you have every right to, right? All y'all who were chanting WrestleMania for years, and you had, was it a while back, Nick Khan and Triple H meeting with the mayor of London. And it's like, well, all this potential talk of WrestleMania, but the reality is, can you just imagine how much money Turkey Al-Sheikh just had to throw at WWE potentially to get a WrestleMania? More money than England would ever match. So it is possible, and it is also the discussion that they want The Rock at this event. So let's assume it's WrestleMania. I mean, you can, right? And again, WWE is not going to say no to Turkey Al-Sheikh. Nobody is saying no to Turkey Al-Sheikh. You would be a fool to say no to Turkey Al-Sheikh. Dude's a powerful man, not to be fucked with. Not to be fucked with, bro. If he got Dana White to hold his hand and walk, bro, just saying, okay? Got Canelo and Bud Crawford eating dinner together. I'm just saying. So, look, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe you do 2 WrestleManias like you do, obviously, WrestleMania here in the States, right? But they get El Super WrestleMania or the Grand WrestleMania. I don't fucking know, okay? But they're going to get it. Pause. Saudi Arabia are going to get this. They're going to get this event. And I know a lot of people out there right now are going to be bitching and moaning about it. Oh, I'm not going to be watching this. Oh, I'm not doing this. But the reality is you will. Just like all these people who are saying, oh, I'm not going to be watching no more. Oh, I'm no longer watching because it's $29.99. Chances are you are going to end up paying that $29.99 a month to get WWE PLEs on ESPN. It's going to happen. So, yeah, it's gonna go down potentially. For all we know, Roman Reigns and The Rock in Saudi Arabia. Hey, I'm just saying, it's possible. It's fucking possible. They're having 2 WrestleManias next year. Yeah, as of right now, 2026, they're having WrestleMania 42, night 1 and night 2. That's 2 WrestleManias right there, buddy. Rumble in Saudi 2026 and 2 Ming in 2027. Hey, it's possible, right? We'll see what they do. Have you seen the Jada Parker and Jey Uso video? Yeah, I have. And good for them. Good for them. Steve, what are you doing personally? VPN or $29.99? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You want to know what I'm going to do?
I don't know. You know, it's like whatever.
There you go. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Time will tell. Time will tell. Like, again, you're talking to someone who uses all these platforms. Like I mentioned before, I do use the Peacock app, not just for the WWE stuff, but again, in a couple of weeks, this Friday, the Premier League will start again. So I will watch the Premier League games on Peacock. I'm someone who has ESPN Plus because not only do I watch the UFC fights, I will also watch, La Liga. That's the soccer league in Spain. I will use, ESPN Plus for La Bundesliga, which is the German soccer league. I will use it to watch the FA Cup. I will use, obviously now Paramount Plus, not just for the UFC pay-per-views, but also for Serie A, which is the Italian soccer league, Champions League, Europa League, And from time to time, I'll watch, the Saudi Pro League from time to time. I think that's on DAZN. But you get what I'm saying. So I'm still using these platforms regardless, So there's that. If Saudi gets Rock versus Roman won, okay. If Saudi gets Rock versus Roman, I will be mad. Those Cody crybabies robbed us. That may be true, brother, but remember, man, Turkey gets what he wants, bro. And we're all going to be good soldiers and watch them, aren't we? But yeah, Raw starts in about 30 minutes. If you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to chime in with your questions. Let me see if I missed anything on this menu here. I pretty much got everything here. But as of right now, the plan it goes as follows. Tomorrow it is Raw Rundown. I will be going live this Wednesday with another episode of SAD, something about Dynamite. On Wednesday, myself and the channel members will watch AEW Dynamite. And hopefully it's a better episode. I hope it is. I know as of right now, let me go on my phone for this one. I gotta see what AEW has in store for this Wednesday. Keep forgetting. I keep on saying this week, but it's for Wednesday. God damn it! I want to see what do they have in store. They have MJF and Hangman Page going face to face. They're gonna talk. They're gonna have Jon Moxley versus Kevin Knight going at it 1-on-1. Right? What else do they have on the show this Wednesday? They have Cope versus Big Stokely Hathaway. To think Adam Copeland could have been part of this John Cena retirement tour, huh? Because they've also, when you think about it, they've also had some bangers, bro. They've had some classics. And instead, that's not the case. He's going to be wrestling Stokely Hathaway. Man. What a shame. What a shame. So I was trying to watch Collision this past Saturday. Yeah, I came back home, right? I was a little stoned. I'll be honest here. I was a little stoned. Was trying to watch Collision because you know what? When I watch wrestling, I get when I'm stoned, I watch a little wrestling, right? So I was trying to watch Collision, and whose voice did I hear on commentary? Paul Walter Hauser. The dude from Cobra Kai. I saw him. I heard his voice. I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking good, bro. Turning this shit off. Dude's unbearable. He's fucking unbearable. I'm like, bro, doesn't MLW have a show tonight? Don't they need you on the show? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Well, what can you do? I just turned the shit off. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to see this shit. Dude's fucking unbearable. I'm just saying. Dude's fucking unbearable. But outside of that, well, that's basically it. Let me see. Well, what we got here? Lola is dating. Yeah, brother. We are fully aware of this. Thank you for reminding us. We are fully aware of this. And yes. Oh, my bad. Why do I think that's a new comment? My apologies, brother. Sup? What's going on, Safed? Hope all is well with you, brother. Hope all is well with you. But unless nothing else, damn, bro, we got this done before Monday Night Raw. I am so fucking happy, guys. Holy shit. I think, if I'm going to be honest here, that is worth a clap. Got it done, y'all. We got it done. Thank you all. By the way, y'all like this graphic, by the way? Y'all love it? Huh? It looks nice, huh? Está bueno, huh? Yeah, I've been taking some, ever since Javier got moved up now, I've been doing the graphics and yeah, there's that too. But I know this Saturday it is AAA and there's Triple Mania. I'll be at a wedding, like I said, so I don't know if I'll be able to watch it in time. Maybe on playback. So there's that too. Literally, this is crazy, right? I got next week, and then the week after that, I am off to Europe. So we're talking the week of. Let's see here. So the week. So literally, next week, I fly to Europe. Starting next week. So literally, it will be. On the 20th will be the last video before I head out to Europe. I'm going to Spain. I'm going to Portugal. And then I don't know if the boys will cover. I doubt it, but I'll keep you posted on that. But after that, the week after, I won't be around. I'll be in Europe, so there's that for the most part. But I'll keep you posted once again. I got some stuff happening. I'm going to let you guys know as well real soon. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. Much love to all of you. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share it through social media with all your friends. All right. You guys can follow the Around the Point Network over on X at AT Network. You guys, if you want to be a channel member, it's only $2.99 a month. You get all these perks that you see right here on the screen. All right. Only $2.99 a month. Hit that join button. If you don't see the join button, there's a link in the description box on the YouTube stream. If you watched us on Kick, please hit the follow button. If you're watching us on Twitch, hit the follow button as well. Much love to all you guys. I'll be back tomorrow for the Raw rundown. Hopefully Raw tonight is better than what the fuck they gave us last week. All right. For myself and for the gang, I am Steve, and this has been Steve's Kitchen.
Listen. Fuck up. Get out.
Oh, hell yeah, it is.